If you find the information useful, please click the like button so others can find our content. For more information, please visit us at thejerusalemassembly.org. If you have questions, contact us on our Facebook page. The links are provided in the description below. November 9, 2020. The Chosen One. By Ruben D. Garcia. Greetings, my beloved readers. It has come a season like no other since the discovery of America by Christopher Columbus. This presidential election period of the year 2020 will be one for the record books, in which disbeliefs and uncertainties were prevalent in modern America as the air we breathe. But fear not, it is a beginning of a spiritual shift, not only in what we feel in our hearts but also in the way we think of things, and most important to this prevalent ambiguity is how we not only see, think, and seek God but how we, Americans, love Him. The rules and laws our nation's fathers sought to leave for us as a written legacy, once seen by them as priceless and holy, based on an undeniable divine purpose for generations to come. It was conceptualized and written down from divine inspirations. The ideas and principles contained within its declaration and purpose were recognized and accepted by our nation's fathers to have been enacted and established through their knowledge that many unselfish men and women had given their lives toward its existence, and for the future generations that would give their blood, sweat, and tears to defend and protect it against unscrupulous adversaries that would contaminate its everlasting holiness. These rules written on it were a map from which our forefathers left to their descendants to follow in their beliefs of a united nation with principles driven by their love and desires for God to protect the newly independent nation through the virtues of justice, honor, peace, and devotion in its power and holiness, but also to be the safeguard of a fragile democracy. Since it was to be destined to be the guiding light for the new republic, they thought to make it to be impenetrable and safeguarded from outside influence. Little did they cognize that from within the spiritual protective walls of such holy document, the adversary would come, not from outside but from within. Such historical and priceless article was to be kept guarded within the holy temple of freedom of our hearts, souls, and mind, but the political Trojan horse and its occupants changed all of that. History shall forever be written for it to be known and remembered as the grandiose betrayal of the autumn of 2020 of such holy document. Thus, I come to the title of my article, The Chosen One. But before I do this, let me review a little bit of biblical history. The first question to observe is a simple one: who or what has dominion over the earth, God or mankind? Now, the dichotomy to the answer is not quite as easy because it depends on who is in control. The Holy Scriptures clearly details that two forces, energies, exist in a mutual balance most of the time. However, each one has the ability to shift either upward or downward to outdo the other. You will ask how and why this happens. Who or what creates or causes this shifting? The vital aspect of all of this is dependent in the magnitude of our consciousness, relying explicitly from our beliefs, our learned past experiences, and of course the level of conscience spirituality. The large majority of Americans would respond that God is the one in control. However, it is not essential to discuss who is in charge but rather who is not. It may surprise you and maybe offend you, but in all, much of the causes and consequences of critical episodes on this earth are created for the most part by the master doing of mankind. Surprise? I hope so. Yes, the balance or imbalance of the nature of the crisis on earth is the results of mankind inputs to the order of the universe. Simply putting it, we are the ones manifesting our joy, happiness, or our sadness, fears, etc. Throughout the Holy Bible we encounter a large number of events, cases, situations in which a mandate, an offering, or even a denial are manifested by a single human being, or in many cases the union of other humans with a unified concept or an idea. Yes, mankind is the creator, the doer, and the perpetrator of our earthly demise. But, follow me and I will explain. Our great Master Jesus knew that the glory of God was within every human being, and all he had to do was to release this divine spiritual energy the individual maintained within himself, and it was all that was needed for someone to awaken it to existence. This divine energy or spirit, as we have known it to be holy, is called the spiritual mechanism or governor. It allows humanity to alter or diminish its spiritual efforts to maintain earthly balance. The great Master told, showed, and manifested its magnificence throughout his ministries, especially when conducting healing and feeding the people that sought his miracles. We know it as faith. Yes, my beloved readers, faith is the let's called the divine frequency in which the creative source manifested his unconditional love for all of humanity. Are we not created in his own image? Did not the great Master Jesus so often reply to all of those that came to him to be healed, "Your faith has healed you"? And did not often he spoke of peace, shalom, and forgiveness? Of course, he did, and it was taught to bring up, elevate and manifest to all of those around him that as the children of God all have the same abilities he had. This is verifiable when he sent the disciples to various other cities to heal and release demons from the people. The Bible described the joy and enthusiasm the disciples relayed to Jesus upon their return. Therefore, there is an innate force within all of us that is vital in the balance either from an individual in what he believes that can be beneficial or not, and also available to a group that utilizes the same principle but into a large scale. Again, the great Master Jesus saw his mission to inform all of those in urgent of spiritual intervention that the inner energy in every one of them was the seat of God's kingdom found in the immortal soul of every human being. Due to his teachings, people around him immediately began to see the similarities found in the ancient prophecies and considered to be real, and it was this ideology or thoughts that brought from the people of his time to believe to be the long-awaited Messiah and viewed as the chosen one. Every now and then, God see fit to send to earth the soul of a great master. You know them in the Bible as the 24 elders. According to the ancient writings, there are 12 elders or masters in a divine council. The great Master Jesus had one with 12 well-known great masters that walked the earth and provided illumination to the people of their time. You can find 2 of the great masters, elders, in the Bible. Do you remember the Transfiguration? This council of 12, remember this number, has a vital divine role exclusively for our earth. They have the sovereignty to carry the desires of the great I Am upon the earth, but also, the Council of Light, sometimes called the Council of Righteousness, most often deals on earth, especially directly with humanity and on very unique divine moments, needs, in mankind's existence. They get fully involved voicing their displeasures and become actively involved acting in behalf of the cases, events, or situations when the glory and existence of righteousness is questionable by doings of mankind. Acts. In many instances in mankind's history, especially in the last 2000 years, humanity has transgressed in about the majority of the principles and crucial elements of righteousness, which happens to be one of the top 10 most revered creative deeds by the creative source, God, and the great Master Jesus. Consequently, due to the nature of America's citizens and of those leaders of other nations that adjunctively concurred with the intentional malice created by the dark side in an effort to tilt the balance of justice and righteousness energies by recurring to the acts that not only has desecrated the holy parchment in which the glory of this nation was built and supported, and now, it is no more than a parchment of a once glorious ideology inspired by the great I Am to a group of honorable and inspired visionaries. But, the event of restoration and reformation has just begun, citizens of the truth. The eternal and divine council of righteousness has taken command of the outcome in which justice, truth and honesty shall prevail after the dark side has its festive period before the council acts decisively upon our nation. Now, the question you all have been waiting. Does the great I Am have chosen an individual on this nation that brings and maintains the glory of God's decrees of truth, justice, peace, and benevolence? The inequitable answer is a divinely yes. The chosen one has been among us and will be again with us. The chosen has been delivered to this earth for this time, and this crisis. He is at the right hand of Jesus, for it is the great Master that is his mentor, his tutor, and will be the Joshua of the American people. The creative source, God, and the great Master Jesus do not need to look further anymore for the chosen one, because he had been already chosen to lead this nation, and he will continue the wishes and desires of the great Council of Light. That individual happens to be our duly elected and re-elected President, Donald Trump, and the divine court has already manifested that he shall be the chosen one to continue the divine agenda from which God sent him, and all of us that volunteered to be here for this spectacular divine event in which God and his great source of unconditional love shall prevail and righteousness be restored. I urged you to be patient, be steadfast in your trust in God and the great counsel of righteousness. The divine undoing is within reach. Pray that the path from the swamp to the holy hill, the chosen one takes such walk with our sincere prayers and benevolent intentions. Begin today and throughout the journey for the children of light to accompany in spirit the chosen one. Lastly, more than anything else, forgive all involved when you see what has been written within and without feelings, displayed, of lamentations, remorse, woes, and dismay, for on the wall of sacrilegious actions it has been written by God that the targeted actions of reproach, insults and blasphemous ideologies against this human being chosen by the heavens to be a servant of God, it is indisputable to be malicious and will not be done away but brought to be reckoned by the heavenly court. Yet, God will wait for all of those involved in this scorching and despicable behavior to repent and come forth seeking forgiveness. God will forgive. However, if it is in their nature not to seek forgiveness but rather continue in their spiritual insolence because the free will of mankind, then their path may be obscure and long path to recovery and awakening. God's words are infallible and true. Thus, God has intervened and will return the Oval Office to the righteous man, and you will see Jesus' disciple once again be the great leader of this nation and admired by many other